Sup everyone, it's Matt, ESC United. Welcome to our first live stream of the 2018 calendar year. Thank you for tuning in. There is a reason why we're here. The reason why we're gathered is to talk about Destination Eurovision. Okay, I had a little bit of an echo here. Hopefully that's gone now. So anyway, let's talk about it. Thank you for tuning in, and today I am flying solo. So next week, the next live stream, I hope to have some guests here, but let's talk about what's really important. So what we'll do here is we're going to talk this through the Destination Eurovision show. How crazy was this, by the way? This was a nail-biter until the end, and spoilers, in case you don't know, I'm sure you all watched it, Madame Monsieur won the national final, but we weren't sure. They were not the jury's favorite, but more to that in just a second. So, this is now the second song we know so far in this particular Eurovision season. We know Albania, and that's it. No, well, in France now, obviously. So, that's a step forward. So, but what's going to happen next? Well, before we go into that, let's talk about France. So there were 8 songs in the running, and let's go for them one by one. The results, I actually had to write them down here. We had plenty of time because they were going through them, especially with the juries, fairly slow. So thank you for, at the end of this, not at the end, but in a few minutes, I will also answer questions. So feel free to post them either in YouTube or Facebook, whatever makes sense to you. So, as said, Madame Monsieur won the national final, and I have a feeling that a lot of you are very happy about that, but there will be some who will not be very happy about this. I paid attention to the chat a little bit on the YouTube live stream, and even though it was virtually impossible to really keep track at the very end, I saw a lot of people going crazy for Emmy, going crazy for Lisandro, and going crazy for Madame. So there were like these 3 main cliques, if you will, going on. So when Emmy got kicked out fairly early in the televote, well, I'm not laughing at the people, but you know, it was pretty intense. So now I didn't think that Merci would win in the end. Not that I didn't want it to win, because I think it's a great song, but I also paid attention. The official channel Eurovision Destination Eurovision started uploading the videos right away, and Merci didn't get that many views. They were all on Emmy and Lisandro for some reason. So I assumed, maybe the French public doesn't agree with like the international people, meaning us, and it'll be a race between those two. And when these two actually ended up in the jury's top 2, you know, that was a very interesting outcome. But hey, it is still a great choice. So let's go for the songs one by one. Before I actually do that, so as you know, tonight was the first night that the televoters were able to have a say. The last 2 weeks in the semis, it was 100% jury vote. So we didn't know where this was going to go. We had like an inkling, but we didn't know for sure. So it is really exciting that they finally had to have a say. And by the way, Jon Ola Sant, you heard him at the very end. He had like 10 seconds to talk. And one thing I will agree with him on that, and hopefully the French people listened, you have to make this a tradition. I think Destination Eurovision, regardless of the outcome, whether or not you agree with the song, I think it was a very well-produced show. It was exciting until the very last end. So I am applauding them for that. So I could not agree more with Mr. Sand. So France, you can't go back now to some silly internal selection or those fairly poor national finals that you previously put together. Anyway, so let's go in the running order of the songs. As you know, the first song of the night, I'm going to put this on here in the back, is Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, Luca. He was actually the first one up, which I thought was quite interesting, knowing that he was technically the last in the betting odds. The last in the betting odds going first, and as it turns out, he finished last. Overall, right? I wrote down the points here. He received a total of 15 points. That's combining the jury and the televote. So definitely dead last. He had 6 points from Armenia. That was the highest score overall. Personally, so this is what I'm thinking, and I'm paying attention to what you're saying, but I think this was definitely a significant improvement from last week. But it also had to do with the fact that they had more backup vocalists. So I think as much as I want to give him credit, which I did, he felt a little less uptight, but he's still not Mr. Stage Presence. Do you know what I mean? He was not like, oh my god, ooh, this chair is not safe, I just realized. He was not wowing me at all. Let me know what you guys think, if you think that he improved or this was always a no-starter from the beginning. In case you don't remember, he was in Semi-1 and he barely squeezed into the top 4 to qualify for the finals. Technically, it was Amir, who now disappeared, gave him 10 points and that pushed him into the top 4, but he barely made the cut, and I think the results kind of showed that. They added a lot to the staging, and I think that is really good. I see Lucas saying song is good, but he's a very poor singer. Yes, he's not the best singer. He has a little bit more of that singer-songwriter voice, like, you know, sitting there with the guitar doing acoustic kind of music, right? Not like necessarily the big pop music. He doesn't have that style. But my biggest thing is, more than anything, I mean, the song isn't that fantastic, but even if he had a good song, he lacks stage presence, and you need that to a certain degree. So he shouldn't have qualified. I see some of the comments here. Yes, that is correct as well. I had 2 other songs that I really wanted to make qualify from the first semi. Noe, I think was her name, the traditional French ballad. That was a really good song to me, but the French people, I guess, didn't like it as much. The French jury did not care for it at all. So not a surprising outcome for him being last, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbled. So let me switch over to the second song of the night, which is Egit. Egit, and I'm going to tell you up front, was one of my personal favorites of the night. It just has this something going on that I really was digging. He did really good with the juries, and he got 10 points from Israel and Switzerland, actually. So yay for that. But Iceland and Sweden were like, they got no points. Scandinavia did not approve, or the Nordic countries. Before somebody yells at me, Iceland is not Scandinavia. Yes, I get it. But they did not like it. Mr. Bjorkman said, this is not going to happen. I see other people that we agree with Noe. That is pretty good. So I see comments about talking about the puppet was weird. You know what? I agree with that. I think it was unnecessary. They've improved and changed a lot of the staging, basically on all performers, Egit's included. I think Egit's song is very quiet, indeed some nice lighting, a nice backdrop, but he doesn't need to have a whole dancey show and like this gimmick. His song would have done just well without it, in my opinion. And the puppet looked like a bad copy of Manselma. It's like they couldn't afford the whole backdrop, so they just went with a wooden puppet. That could be as well. So Egit, anyway, got a good amount of points from the juries. I think he finished in 4th place overall with them. Then the televoters gave him also 50, which then put him at 110 points, which is I think he's in 5th place overall. So not a shabby place. Initially, I didn't think he was going to qualify from Semi 2, so I was very happy. But the song touched me personally, and I was happy he did okay and did not, disappoint. I didn't expect him to win, and maybe it's for the better. Maybe it doesn't have a mass appeal really needed. But I do see some people talking about that they liked it, and it has an appeal. And I know there was a good amount of people being really excited about it, myself included. Puppet for the music video, not live performance. Yes, that makes sense as well. That makes sense as well. So he was probably never a contender to begin with. I think in the betting odds he was in 5th place, I think. I could be off. But he kind of finished where we expected him to. So it was pretty nice. Let's move on to this 3rd song of the night. We're going to probably spend a few minutes here. Emmy, people, share your thoughts right now, because I would like to hear from you. So here's my thing. And don't get mad. Oops, I have the sound on. Let me turn that off so it doesn't make too much interfere with my microphone here. Emmy, to me, is a fantastic live performer. She had stage presence, she's charismatic, and she fits right there. So, as a performer, I completely value and appreciate her. The song itself kind of went past me a little until like the very end when she hit that big note like, that was when she won me over. But it was maybe a little bit too late for that. But I knew that there were so many fans out there, so I actually thought this could win. And when I saw the views on the video right after she performed, they were going like, woo! So I'm like, uh-oh, she's going to win, isn't she? But she didn't. Though she did really, really well with the juries. Let's see here. So she got 12 points from Armenia. By the way, let's talk Armenia here real quick. Their jury vote, I don't want to use the term suspicious, but surprising. Let's use that word. Armenia gave 0 points to Madame Monsieur and Lisandro Cuxi, the top two of the night. And the two favorites according to the betting odds. Interesting. Anyway, so but they gave 12 points to Emmy, 12 to Switzerland, and 12 to not 12 to Finland. Let's do that again. Finland, Switzerland, and Armenia gave Emmy 12 points. She did really, really well. She finished in second place overall with the juries, which was really, really good. So what else you guys are saying? Her song was good, but not really outstanding as her performance, says der Mann auf dem Klo. That's a good name. I agree with that. There was something missing, the spark for me, but I can see why people were drawn to it. Somebody on Facebook is saying she doesn't have the look or the style to fit on Eurovision. I don't know what that really means, but I think there's a space and a place at Eurovision for anybody. We always talk about this style doesn't work, this kind of song doesn't work. Look at Salvador. Look at Jamala. I think one thing that Eurovision has proven over the last few years, any song can win if it's done right, if it's the right singer and the right vibe. So you used to have the right combo, of course, but any song can win. Televote did not like her, TK is saying, and that is absolutely right. And I was shocked about that. What did you guys think? I was like, I think all of our jaws dropped because I thought she may actually pass Lisandro. It would come down to Madame Monsieur, her and Lisandro. But when she got only 30 points from the televote, she dropped. Actually, she is now overall barely in 4th place. Oop, the video's over. So that was a big, big surprise. But I do think, once again, she was a little nervous during the semifinal performance, it felt like, but she felt better now. But it wasn't enough. Let's see what you guys are saying. I agree with the semifinal performances. I actually thought that these performance was worse tonight. I guess it comes down to whether or not you like the staging or not. I thought the staging was fine. The staging didn't bother me personally. I thought she felt more comfortable and ready. And that is what I was drawn to. The performance and the staging, itself didn't bother me at all. So I was okay with it. Somebody is saying, I feel she wasn't ready for Eurovision yet. Same for Lisandro. You know what? I can see that, where you're coming from that. She is a great performer, and I think she'll get even better. And this was a great experience for her. Assuming they're going to do Destination Eurovision again the coming years, she needs to come back because she has so much going for her. So it was very disappointing when it came in, but this is what I love about Eurovision. Look at all of our faces. We're like, what? Did that just happen? Amy did much better in the final as a performance, but she wasn't very relatable with the attitude in her song. I guess that could be, I don't speak French, so she could have just sang about mashed potatoes, and, so I didn't, as I said, didn't quite click with that song, but that was a surprise. So let's move on. I have too many windows open here. Okay, so now we're gonna go to a little tiny little song that did somewhat okay. Madame Monsieur. Merci. Mercy. So what a night this was. I thought it was a great performance, first of all. It was actually in my personal ranking only in 3rd place. I actually personally like Lisandro better. Okay, don't kill me. It's just my personal taste, but I totally get the song. I think it's beautiful, and it absolutely deserves what it got. So, but I liked Igit and Lisandro the best, followed by Madame Monsieur. So there are so many good songs though. Anyways, but let's talk about the song and the staging. So my favorite, yes, I see here, that is absolutely no surprise. There were so many of them that liked it. Somebody on Facebook said that this may be disqualified because it's a political song, which is so funny. Somebody on the YouTube thing kept posting that over and over and over and over, and okay, you get it. And I'm like, it is not going to get disqualified. Don't even think about it for 2 hot seconds. If Jamala doesn't get disqualified, this will not get disqualified. And if I understand the words correctly and what people are saying, it's not even really political. It's just supportive of the refugee situation. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. That is barely political, because if that's political, everything is political. So, a great beat and a wonderful message. Yes, it's the message, of course. That is a difficult part. You have to deliver that to people who don't speak French, and the vast majority of people will not speak French. So I will be very interested in how this goes. But anyway, Madame Monsieur finished in 3rd place with the juries only, and with quite a few points behind. Iceland and Bulgaria gave it 12 points. And Armenia gave it 0. But even Sweden, Mr. Bjorkman, gave it 2 points. He didn't want that one to make it through at all. Love it so much. Best song France had in years. Très bien. I loved Alma last year, so I can say I think France is on the right track right now. Regardless of the outcome, they are doing something right here, so I'm very excited. People are saying, I don't really care how Merci will do in Lisbon. I just love a French song for a change. Well, they always sing at least partially in French, but I assume they're going to stick to French completely. I just think it is true. Sometimes you need to kind of separate your own personal thinking and feelings as far as like results are concerned, and just think about, are you happy? Are you proud with that song? Like Germany last year, you know me, I was born in Germany, so I'm biased towards Germany. I'm always rooting for them. I was not happy with that song at all. So if you're not really excited about your song, the results almost don't matter. So this is nothing more important. They maybe feel threatened. Someone is saying, you know what? Look, I'm not the one to talk a lot of smack, but I thought that Armenia's votes were really odd. I thought that I understand if you don't neither like Madame Monsieur and Lisandro's song, I get it, but that they're the 2 worst songs of the night was a little odd to me. And again, I think it's only a 1-person vote, but I just find it really, really odd. Someone's saying the song is about a baby named Merci, born in the Mediterranean Sea. In the Mediterranean Sea. No, that song's stuck in my head. So no, it's, again, if you speak French, a beautiful story, so good for that. Krista wants badly Sweden to win. He was trying to destroy songs he knew were better. Well, he is leaving Melodifestivalen as the boss, I think, in 2021. And he said he wants to win prior to that. So I'm not accusing him of sabotaging other national finals, because his votes were not that crazy. It's just weird that Madame Monsieur got low points. He gave 12 points to Lisandro and 10 points to Emmy. So nothing too crazy going on there. So, ESC Nico saying, did you already look at the German qualifiers? I have looked at the acts. Yes, there are a bunch of acts that I like, but I will talk about that in just a little bit. Let's move on real quick to the runner-up, Ava. So I would like to hear from you guys. Did you like it? Not so much? Here's my thing. I personally like Ava better than Madame Monsieur's Merci, but only because it reminds me of one of my favorite singers of all time, Michael Jackson. That's my music, right? So he has definitely, he's not a copycat, but he certainly has been inspired by that style. So I was really, really into that song. And objectively, not talking about the song quality, that was a great staging compared to the semifinals, right? With the wall behind there and the lighting. It was very well executed. I thought he's going to have a great career future ahead of him. What a voice. And the song lacked a little bit of the factor. Like, I loved the chorus, but just like Nasi's song, the verses were so lackluster and did not really hit me. So, but it was a great song and clearly clicked with the televoters, right? Not the televoters, I'm sorry, the juries. The juries, let me count here real quick. Lisandro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 10 juries gave it the high marks, the 12 points. That is significant. So it was the clear jury winner, and it only finished, though, in 3rd place, I think, with the televotes. Totally 72 points. That was a shocker. But then again, Malo's 2nd place was a bigger shocker than anything. Lisandro didn't win because he doesn't have a great personality. I can speak on that. He seems perfectly fine to me. So if you refer to stage presence, I thought he did fine there. I don't know if he's confident enough, but I felt so bad for him. Like, you could see he was almost going to cry at the end. Oh well, but that's how it goes. You know, if you want to be in the music industry, especially in a competition like that, you really have to accept that you could end dead last with a fantastic song. It doesn't always go your way. You should never go into this and thinking, I've got this, because you may be in for a surprise. The song was average. The performer was very good. Next time with a better song. Yeah, I can see why people wouldn't like it. I think the power still was with the chorus, and the rest was a little flat, but I like the style overall. So I really like the song. I'm glad it did well, but the more I think about it and the more I talk it out loud with you, the more I'm okay with it not winning, but I do like the song, so I'm not going to lie. Oh, Lisandro has been on French TV for years now. Since Voice Kids, people are tired of him. See, that is the thing. We don't know him as internationals, right? This is the first time I've seen him, so he is a big name, or a bigger personality, so people are not quite as drawn to him anymore. So that makes sense. That's the thing, because people internationally may have a completely different opinion about that. So we shall see. So this was song number 5. Moving on to song number 6. Max Cinnamon. Now, I love his name because I love cinnamon, but I didn't like the song. I don't know what the jury saw in this, and I think people were kind of in agreement with me on this one. Look, he's very young. He looks like he's 12, first of all. It really makes me nervous. Shouldn't you be in bed by now? But I didn't click with the song, so when it finished almost in 1st place in the semis, I was like, what? And then it kept getting points and points. Every single jury gave Max points. No 12-pointers, though. The highest one he got was 10 points from Russia. So that's what I'm thinking. I was actually, when this song was on, I ran downstairs and got more coffee, because I was like, yeah, I know the song. And I should have paid more attention, because the staging, now that I see it running here, with the fire is pretty cool, but you can have fireworks and artists and acrobats coming downstairs. You can have the Sergei Lazarev wall behind him. You can do whatever. You can bring butter churning ladies out there with big boobs. It's not going to be enough with this song. You should have sang Love, Love, Peace, Peace. So what is Adam saying? I enjoyed Max much better in the semi I'm sorry, but the song is pretty messy, but I can see him go to Eurovision in the coming years with a better song. Yes, I agree with that. I'm not saying that he's not a capable artist, even though I'm kind of bored with his vocal style singing. I can see with the right song, it could work. Somebody is saying Max was so cute and the song was very nice. Yeah, I expected him to do slightly better in the televote than... Well, no, I thought he would at least be 5th or 4th place in the televote. I think he's going to get a decent amount of young girls' vote. But I knew it wasn't going to be enough. So, yeah, I was just okay with it. I am not sad, not at all that it didn't win. The televoters gave it how many points? 36, by the way, so not too shabby, I suppose. Alright, song number 7 is Nasi. I was shocked that he did so poorly with the televote. Here's the thing. In the semis, I really, really liked the song. But the problem is, even tonight, his voice just bothered me. If he would have performed a little better, then maybe, just maybe, I would have been more supportive of it. But at this point, it was really, really, vocally, it almost like, eh. So, I do like the staging. He was the only one, I give him props for that, who was doing the staging. He knew what he was doing from the semis on. It didn't change much. They did the same thing, and because it worked. So for that, I'm pretty excited, and that he knew what he was doing. But vocally, it just wasn't there. But I did like the song. I like the chorus. I do like the instrumental part. So I expect him to do a little better with the televoters. So the juries, I figured, would destroy him, which they did, except for Armenia. They gave it 10 points. Okay, I'm going to stop picking on Armenia. Overall, Nasi was, I think, in 7th place with the juries and also in 7th place with the televoters, receiving a total of 48 points, putting him in also in 7th place overall. So, I wonder if this song would have been a better song for Lisandro to sing, actually. That would have been my thinking. So that's where we're at. So overall, disappointing performance and outcome for Nasi. I will probably keep that song though on my iPad. What's it called? iPod. Because I do like the song, the studio version, quite a bit. But I totally get why it didn't do well. I was a big fan of the actual staging. I'm angry that no one in the public jumped and danced to the song as if it was their last day alive. Yeah, I want to dance to that song, but it's just, it didn't click with people for some reason. Wasn't it like, I remember when the first snippets came out, this one was super popular, right? This one was very, very like high anticipation and people were like, this is going to be good. And then he just didn't perform live, unfortunately. Somebody's saying Lisandro and Nasi sound like perfect. See, I'm not the only one who thinks that way. I think it would have been a better combination. But that's how the cookie crumbles. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And then the last song of the night, and that is a big, big surprise, Malo's Ciao. The reason why I'm saying it's a big surprise is I thought it was going to be the other way around. Like, the jurors will give it high points, and the televoters would be like... As it turns out, it was the exact opposite. Malo didn't get many points from the juries. Only Finland liked with 8 points. Other than that, just really low scores. And then it finished second in the televote. It received 89 points. Then, overall, now he finished in 3rd place with 117 points. That is insanity. I did not see that one coming. Other than that, I don't have much to say about the song, me personally. It was, I would have put it through from the semis. It was like my 4th favorite in the semis. But I didn't want it to see win. It's a fun song once to me, but after that, I get a little bit annoyed with his singing. This, ciao, baby, ciao, see, I sound like him. I can't do this. I could do Destination Eurovision, I just realized. Now, but that is, it just works once for me. The second time I heard it tonight, I heard it for the second time, I'm like, I'm done. But the French loved it. Anybody from France, you like know what it was? Did you guys expect that to happen? Somebody else is agreeing with me, saying that the juries would give it high scores. Sometimes, you know, you never know. The nice thing about this jury system is, kind of like in Melodifestivalen, it is a slight indicator of how things may go in Eurovision. Of course, there are way more juries, way more people. I get that. But if you look at Melodifestivalen, songs that did well in the international jury in the Melodifestivalen did well in the actual Eurovision to a certain degree. So maybe this is something to take into consideration. But of course, it's not the full picture. This is just a little aspect to it. Great singing, Matt. I know. It was very, very pretty. I agree. I sounded like him. So, but it was a different song. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't want it to see win, though. I am glad that it kind of didn't get as many points from the juries to kind of put it down there, so I was not nervous for the most part. Luca was in the final because of Amir vote. Yes, that is exactly what happened. I think I said that earlier, is the 10 points that came from Amir that really took him over the border and barely squeezed him in, and now it was just not a thing in the finals. Last with the juries, last with a televote. He has the personality of a dial tone, or I should say stage personality of a dial tone. You know how he duetted with cats on trees? He actually sounded like a cat on a tree. Okay, yes, he does have that. It's just a very polarizing voice, I guess. I was not in love with it either. I thought he's going to be more like, Mika, the singer, the British singer. I thought he's going to go more down that route. But then it became more of really like a cat in heat kind of voice, and then I was no longer having it. It would have done a little bit bad at Eurovision, I think. I don't think this would have had a shot at Eurovision at all. But it was a good song to have in the finals. It's diversity. That's how I look at it. So, again, let's go for the ranking real quick for the in the finals. Obviously, Madame Monsieur won with 186 points. And 118 points came from the televoters. My foot fell asleep. 118 points came from the televoters. So they were the ones that pushed it through. And it was fun to watch, not fun to watch seeing Emmy and Lisandro fail, of course, but seeing, the fan favorite, and people were like so nervous. I saw in the chat, people were talking about, oh, they're not going to win. It's done. They're not going to win. And sure enough, they did. Let's see. Let me see some other questions we have here. Some of the covers were more entertaining than the rest. Yes, I agree with that as well. I love the zombie one, actually. Lisandro's one, was probably my favorite. But the Cranberries are dear to my heart. The music is like my teenagerhood. So I connect with it quite a bit. Anyway, so Madame Monsieur won. We're also going to talk about that just in one more second. Lisandro in second place with 162 points, finishing first with the juries, third with the televoters. Malo ends up in third place with 117 points, thanks to the televoters pushing them up. Emmy in fourth place with 112 points. So right behind it is Egid with 110 points, finishing in fifth place. So these are the top five. Then followed by Max Cinnamon, only in sixth place. Nasi with 48 points in seventh place. And then Luca, dead last. 15 points only. That was slightly embarrassing, I guess, that score. But at least Armenia liked it with 6 points. So that's exactly what's happening. Now let's talk about Madame Monsieur. They are going to Eurovision, obviously, and their chances. Let's not look at our taste. Like not we all, but a lot of us love it, and we're happy that it's going. But does it really have a shot in Eurovision? Because now it'll have that exposure, not just to the die-hard Eurovision fans following the national finals, but actually the casual viewers, and that is my concern with it. Will this song really have that appeal to the public viewers, the regular people who only watch Eurovision on that night? What do you guys think? I am a little hesitant to say, yes, this is going to go big with them. Because number one, you need to understand the lyrics often to really get it. Melodically, it's pretty and it creates an atmosphere, but it's not very bombastic. With 26 songs in a show, will this one stand out? That is a little bit... You had to hit Armenia. I did it again, didn't I? I have to. The votes are just so funky to me. So I'm a little bit concerned that it may not go quite as big with the international public. That is my concern here right now. We shall see if I'm right or wrong. We still have plenty of time to go. And with the juries, we shall see as well. It only finished in 3rd place among 8. So let's see if it will do well in Lisbon with the juries. Now, again, you should not focus on this too much, but I have seen patterns in the past where the juries in national finals gave low scores to a song, and it still won. It then flopped with the juries at Eurovision. Some examples are Austria 2016. Loin to See did not do well with the juries in the Austrian national final, but then also flopped with the juries at Eurovision. Verona, Estonia last year, same thing. Didn't do too well with the juries within the SDLL, but the televoters pushed it through, and sure enough, the juries then also killed it in, where were we last year? Kiev. So there is a pattern sometimes. It doesn't always apply. Just saying. People are saying it will stand out. We shall see. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just looking at it and I'm a little nervous. I don't know if it will be enough, but if they really blow us away with the staging and the charisma that they've shown right now, it could go well. But I'm withholding judgment right now. We'll see how the staging will be in Lisbon. So Merci will shine on stage with those bridges. Okay, that's a fair statement to make. I agree with that. It has a lot of appeal. Again, we shall see. I'm a little nervous though. So it looks like most people think that it will have an appeal. So that is fair. That is fair. You guys don't necessarily see what I'm concerned about. So maybe you talked me out of being nervous right now, because I want France to do well, and I like that song, even though it's not my number one. I like it. So I want to get a quick round here of people, because we have 2 songs so far. Mal from Albania and Merci from France. One-word songs. I think that's going to be the trend for the rest of the year. Just type in the chat. Let me know, which song do you prefer over? Like, is Albania or France your favorite right now? Just tell me, and I will not get a tally because I don't have a pen. There's no way I can write that all down. But just to see, you know, overall. Matt, you don't think that the media would make a buzz about the message? It'll be up for debate, I think. Adam, forgive me. I don't know what message we're talking about. The song Merci, the message? I'm not sure. So I'm going to answer a few more questions while I'm waiting for your comments here. Celtic big parts of Russia is Asia and Russia. So I don't know what that means. You can also feel free to mention non-French stuff, France stuff. This is just a wrap-up of this. So France, Albania, France. Both are boring. Merci, France. Male. There's no song Male, but I think you meant Mall. France. Okay, so that means Albania won. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, France so far seems to be your favorite, and let's see if that's going to continue that way. So please post, when you post questions to me, make sure you put @Matt so I can see the questions, because there's a lot of chatting going on. I have to check on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm like multitasking. I only have 2 eyes. I'm gonna get like blind if I keep doing that. Is it possible to put subtitles at Eurovision? That conversation has been going on for quite some time. I think the EBU responded to it and said no for a reason. I'm trying to remember. I think there was a reason. I personally am in favor of it. Maybe that'll make people want to sing in their native tongue, so they're not worried people will not understand the words. But how many songs have performed in their native language at this point? 3 or 4? Not that many. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? What needs to change next year for Destination Eurovision? I don't know what needs to be changed. I think it was a very entertaining show. I don't think they really wasted a whole lot of time. they performed that one cover song with the famous artist and then performed their song. I think that's great. But then they didn't have this whole long interval acts or anything, right? That was a very short time. So the entire show took about 3 hours, just under 3 hours. That is a good time. That is a good time. As far as the voting is concerned, I think this was really good. The juries were unable to overrule the televoters. It worked well. It reminded me a lot of Melodifestivalen, actually. So I don't know. I would have to think it through what I would change. But right now, I think it's a really, really good show. Somebody is saying, if Mercy was to get revamped, what would you want to be changed? It's very difficult. People like the beat. Right? They like this. Da, da, da. To me, almost a song Merci, to me personally, I wish it would be more like an orchestra and a beat to it. I feel like there should be a little bit more playful melody in the back. Like imagine if like, not a violin, but some other instrument that plays along with the melody to add a little bit more depth to it. So sometimes it feels a little less empty in the back. But again, that's maybe not working with the message of the song. But since I don't speak the language, I don't necessarily connect with that part of it. So we shall to see. Matt, which one do you prefer, Alma or Merci? Okay. Probably half of the room's going to hate me now because, you know, one group will be like this one, the other one better. Comes down to personal taste. I loved Alma's song the year so much, so I would have to give it to Alma overall. But again, I like the song. I like the song, but Alma was like one of my favorites, so I'm like, I will still pick her. Someone is saying, do you know what Merci song is saying? Yes, we were just talking about, I think, a refugee child born in the Mediterranean Sea and that kind of stuff. So I do know what it's about, but when you don't speak the words or, you know, exactly what it's saying as you're listening to it, it's a bit of a different story. Alma is better, Alma over Mercy. Also, some people agree with me. Okay, I'm not alone then. Okay. Wrong. All right, so I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then next time, by the way, before I do that, I have to look at my calendar right now. I should have had that in front of me, but the Czech Republic's national finalist coming up soon, I think Monday, so we'll be back for that with a live stream. So a lot of people talking Alma here now. I'm a little relieved here because I felt like I'm going to get like some threats thrown at me here. You suck. But that comes, you know, people like some songs better. Alma had a bad placing, sadly. Bad is subjective. Alma finished in the top 10 in the televote, which is really good. The jury surprisingly didn't like her as much. She didn't do that good of a job in the jury show, I must say. I was there, and she was vocally a little weaker then, but it should have done better. And overall, she finished like in 12th place, 13th place. That's not too shabby, especially considering how France did in previous years, not counting you. Matt, will you react to the Spanish selection? Yes, I will react to it. Unfortunately, I don't want to react to it because from what I'm hearing is they don't have the full products yet. Like, they just have like these half versions. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I will have to take a look at that. Plus, I have to be careful because Spain is very strict with the copyright. So even if it's a tiny bit of video on my screen, they immediately take it down. So, but I'll do what I can. So Spain and Czech Republic both are Monday, by the way. That is correct. I meant to say that. So for both of them. 12 was a lot higher than I expected, to be honest. Oh, for Alma. No, I was hoping it's going to be somewhere around there. But to me, at this point, results at Eurovision are almost secondary. I just want the songs that I like to actually make it to Eurovision. And if they don't do well, so be it. Those songs will always exist, and they will always be on my iPod. Why do I keep saying iPad? iPod. So I'm not too sad about that. By the way, somebody is asking on Facebook, what about having guests or some of your viewers join in on camera? Yes. Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. So if you're interested, you know, we can talk about this. I have already people lined up, but today was just like a thing where nobody, where I couldn't make it work. So I will have other people and we can have more of a dialogue as well. So it's not just going to be boring me. But feel free to send me an email to matt@escunited.com or contact us on Facebook or Twitter. I'll be happy to talk to you. Somebody's asking, what is your favorite song from the Czech Republic? My personal favorite is Fly, because I find it a very intricate composition and powerful and grand. But I'm pretty sure that Lie to Me will win, and that would be a fun song. And I think looking at like overall results, not for selfish reasons, I think Lie to Me may have the best shot at getting the best result for the Czech Republic in Eurovision. Matt, how do you think they will stage it? I assume you mean we're back to Merci. I think they will stick similar to what they're doing right now. I do like the outfits. I do like the all in black and then the red shoes. Did they do that today? I think so. It's pretty cool. I think they're going to have with the theme, with the faces in the back, which is not necessarily original from a Eurovision perspective. They had that with the social media song. Malta did in 2014. So they have that done before, but it works. So I think they're going to keep it similar. I don't think they're necessarily about a big show, this particular song. So, I'm looking, I'm sorry, I shouldn't stall here because I was slightly distracted by some of the comments here. I'm trying to, there are more statements than questions, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to miss any questions. Are we going to do live streaming in Lisbon this year, is somebody asking on Facebook. Yes. Yes, we're going to be live streaming a lot until Lisbon, right? So I'm going to have at least one live stream a week until then, and then we're going to do song reviews, and then when we're in Lisbon, we'll be online live streaming every single day, just like we did it in Kiev and in Stockholm. So that is what we'll be doing. So you'll see a lot of us there. Matt, what is your favorite UK song? Oh God, now I have to think. I just watched it the other day. I only went for them once. So I was torn between Legends and You, I think it's called, right? The Soulful song. Those are my two favorites. I need to listen to them again because I only listened to them once. You may become my favorite. It really touched me, but Legends is just a bombastic, cool Beyonce-style song, and I think if it's done, performed right and staged right, it could do pretty well in Eurovision. So those are the two that stood out to me the most. And yes, somebody is saying, like, Matt, are you going to make a top 2 video? No, I'm not going to make a top 2 video. It's silly to me. Like, there are people out there who did, here are my top 1 videos of songs of Eurovision. I'm like, are you just doing that to get views? I'm not going to watch this. Top 2 is just not enough. Maybe once we're up to 10 songs, we'll start doing some on ESC United. We have our ranking game on our forum, so feel free to join in there as well. So that is what I'll be doing. So yes, so any last questions? TK said, I'm mad that I'm not answering your questions. I keep missing it. So I think the UK has got very bad things this year. It's a pity. I thought, by the way, if you haven't watched my reaction video yet, I do reaction videos to a lot of the national final songs. I listen to the first time on camera, and then you can hear my opinion. I think it's a significant improvement from last year. Is it the fantastic national selection, especially knowing it's the UK? No, but I think they have some competent songs in the running, and we'll see how it goes. So, any last questions here? I'm looking here right now. Matt, favorite song? Favorite song as in tonight? My favorite was actually Egit, my personal favorite, but I knew it was going to win. If that was your question. I'm not sure if you're talking about any other country, but that was my personal favorite of the night. So I'm okay with 5th place, I think, for him. That's not too shabby. That is not too shabby. All right, everyone. So this was our This is our final stream. This is our first stream of the 2018 year, and we'll be back Monday for the Czech Republic and Spain conversation. So we're going to have 4 songs already. How exciting is that? So the seasons just keep picking up steam. And last question. Do you think La Forza is good in Estonia? It's my favorite song this year in Estonia, in Eesti Laul. So I want that one to win. That's the question I'm going to ask last. And so thank you for listening. We'll be back Monday. Make sure to hit that subscribe button in one of these 2 corners. I don't know which one it is. And we're on Twitter, on Facebook. We have a forum on our website. And I will be posting more reaction videos in the next few days. Hopefully you have fun. And I cannot wait for the Czech Republic and Spain for that matter. It can only go up for Spain now and basically for Czech Republic as well. So I wish you all a good night. Once again, congratulations to Madame Monsieur. And my French sucks. I don't speak a word except for the bad words. And have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.